Hello everyone, me and Gokan are in cloudy Brussels today for the European Power Platform Conference. And I know you don't really agree with me with the cloudy statement, but
it's summertime for us, please.
We just came out of the European Power Platform Conference keynote, and we are here today to give you the top highlights from the conference. So, Gokan, what do you think about the conference so far? This is day one of the conference. We had a workshop together yesterday as well. What are your thoughts so far?
So, we are in Brussels. It's my hometown. So, by default, it's a 10 out of 10. We had an amazing keynote. We've seen a lot of stuff, especially with Power Apps. I was amazed with the stuff that we've seen, which we're going to explain in a couple of minutes. A lot of delegates, phenomenal sponsors, and good weather. Don't listen to Vlad. It says it's cloudy, but look, we have the sun, so you cannot expect more, right?
The sun just showed up because you said it. You know how to talk to the Belgian sun. So let's start talking keynote. They started off the keynote by sharing some super interesting numbers with us. And I know you took note of everything, so can you share them with us?
Yes. So we have been told that we had 5.8 million community monthly active users and more than 600 user groups active today, which is, for me, phenomenal, as we know where it started, right?
Yeah, I mean, it started from nothing really a couple of years ago. So to see that grow to 600 user groups worldwide and over 6 million people answering questions on the forum. So that is just an amazing number. And I feel like we've also experienced that in attendance at the Power Platform Conference as well. And we've both attended almost all the Power Platform conferences so far. But in the keynote, they shared the evolution of attendees at this conference. So the first one was in Berlin 3 years ago.
Yes.
How many people did we have at that
500.
one? We then went to
Dublin,
which was
1,250.
So we doubled.
Absolutely.
And now how many are we at?
2,000 within like 3 years in Brussels, which is absolutely fantastic.
And I think it's 2,000 because they sold out.
Yeah, we heard that.
Quite a while ago. The workshop sold out over a month ago. So that is just crazy that we could have even had more if there was space.
Yeah.
But now, Gokan, let's start talking products. What's the first product that they talked about on stage?
So we talked about a lot of stuff, from Copilot Studio to automation to Power Apps to managed environments. But they started the keynote with the mindset that's changing within the Power Platform community, as well as the platform. So they told us that they had, and I have to read, like the Power Platform makers. And this year we are Power Platform makers plus Copilots. And now they are making the platform to be Power Platform makers plus team of Copilots.
So we don't only have 100 Copilots, we're going to have our little Copilot teams that help us out. It makes me think, okay, minions, assemble. Come help me make an app.
Probably that's going to be, yeah. So that's the mindset, and I think I love it because we also see that in SharePoint, right? You can build your own Copilots. And the way that they go, I feel, is the same, which has not been always the case. And I pretty love it, to be honest.
You love it?
I love it.
If you love it, I love it too.
And then we went to Copilot Studio, which went GA, and they had to show us like 3 main pillars: the agent, knowledge, and overrides.
And then they went to do the demo, but then something funny happened, which the speaker came on stage and I was like, I can't do the demo because I just have a Windows update forced on me.
Sorry guys, we had a Windows update pushed down on me.
And that just reminded me of Space Force, the Netflix comedy, in which they're trying to land a satellite or to avoid something, and they couldn't because of Windows updates.
Microsoft!
Okay. So that made me laugh. However, the demo was amazing.
It was pretty cool, yeah.
They created a chatbot, a Copilot on the site in Power Pages. They're able to ask generic questions about the site, as well as ask specific questions about their order, and even interact with the Copilot to change their order. So that was pretty cool. Not anything new, because we've seen all of that at Build, of course.
Yeah.
But it was still interesting to see.
Then we went to automation side of story, your baby, right? And then they showed us more about the AI flow as well as the AI recorder, right?
Yes.
Which was pretty impressive for people like me who can't really do automation because it's too complex. Well, now you can just talk, right? That's what I've seen.
That's what we've seen.
You talk to your Copilot, and it's going to build the AI flow for you, which you can use, even adapt, because you'll see it step by step.
I'm not a big fan of this. Okay, Gokan, let me tell you why. And I know people are going to laugh because I know how everybody feels about AI and how it will make everything better. But so what they showed is how the really big difference, in addition to what you said, that you can just describe it and it does the flow. It doesn't even do a flow for you. You just describe it and that's it. But you're able to reference a piece of knowledge. So the example they gave was that, hey, you have a travel policy. Instead of creating all your logic controls in your flow manually, you can just tell the flow like a grounded GPT saying, hey, this is your travel policy. This is your request from email. Go in, evaluate it against the travel policy, and then tell me if that travel change is allowed or not.
Yeah.
I love the idea because, like they said, it can be dynamic. It can be that whenever the travel policy changes, you don't need to change any of the conditions in your flow and everything.
Didn't you share an article with me recently? What was that again about?
That's exactly what scares me, Gokan. So for a bit of background, earlier this year, 2024, customers sued Air Canada, so the biggest airline in Canada, because that customer chatted with a chatbot on the Air Canada site, and the chatbot offered the customer a discount. And then the company didn't honor it. So then the customer sued the Air Canada. And Air Canada said that, hey, you know what? The chatbot is a different legal entity, which, by the way, makes me think of so many robot movies and everything. It's not us. The robot has its own mind. The chatbot is its own legal entity, and we cannot be held liable on what the chatbot says. However, the court decided that the customer was right, that because the chatbot was on the Air Canada site, whatever the chatbot says has to be respected. So what does this have to do with AI flows? What if your travel policy is not made correctly? And then I make it, I put the travel policy, and then Gokan goes in and says, hey, can I book a first-class flight to go to Dubai and get the Emirates suite, which is $20,000? And the chatbot says, yeah, sure we can.
Yeah.
And then Gokan expenses it, and after that, the expense gets denied. But whose fault is that? The chatbot, the AI flow, misunderstood the actual document, or maybe misunderstood the prompt. But Gokan got an approval. So are we ready to make financial decisions in a company, whether it's expenses, purchase approvals, travel decisions, based on AI's understanding of a document? I don't think we're there yet. I wouldn't be comfortable yet because it has legal ramifications. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Nevertheless, although I agree with Vlad, it was just amazing.
It's an amazing demo.
It's an amazing. I loved it. Personally, when you have documents 50 pages, you don't want to go into each section, understand what's happening. Just ask Copilot to do that for you, and then you can always cross-check. Do an approval as they showed in their demo.
But do you think you show that to your customers, no approval, they're going to say yes?
No, they
no.
They won't. So I'm totally honest, right?
And then one more thing for Power Automate, the robotic process automation recorder. So being able to take robotic process automation to the next level. So you can basically explain to Copilot what you're actually doing. So you can talk to it, you can open files, you can show the website and everything. You don't even have to do an example. You just have to say, hey, I have this data in this Excel file. I want to put it in this website. Here are both of them open. You figure it out, Copilot. I'm not going to show you how to do it. I'm not going to step-by-step do it for you. You figure it out. So that is quite amazing, and I loved it, to be honest.
Absolutely.
That one I can't wait to use. That one I'm in love with. Especially that I don't like doing RPA flows now. So that will save me a lot of time.
Absolutely.
And after that, we switched over to Power Apps, which is your baby.
Yeah. So then we went to Power Apps, and we got a demo with a lot of examples on how you could integrate it with Copilot. The first one was the creation of the Canvas app, where the presenter just wrote some app, and then instead of creating the app with one table, basically we went to data modeling, and then we had multiple Dataverse tables with sample data, And the fantastic part is that there had already references and lookups into those Dataverse tables, as well as within Copilot, you could also add more tables with sample data and ask to make references with lookups. Fantastic, like stuff that I personally never do, like data modeling. I always build my app first and then go for the data modeling, which is a bad thing, to be honest. Now, within Power Apps, you can do it from the start.
But I love that. One of the things you said before, you can't use Copilot to create your data because it only creates one table. Now it's able to create relationships. It's able to truly create everything. So that's crazy.
Please, if someone at Microsoft listens to us, I know Dataverse is cool, but please give us the chance to also choose for other data sources such as SharePoint. Okay, then we had also a demo of co-authoring. When the presenter created this Canvas app, we could see clearly someone else working on the app and adapting the layout, as well as stuff that's already in our tenant as explain me this formula or create me a formula with Copilot. Pretty good, actually even tremendous demo for those who have never seen Copilot in action with Power Apps. As special data modeling sites, I'm really looking forward to use it.
Awesome. And then we ended on managed environments.
Managed environments.
I feel like Microsoft is adding everything they have that has to do with administration, governance. Yep. Everything is going to managed environments. I feel like if you're a big company, you don't really have a choice now but to use managed environments or a third-party tool, because that's the only way where you can get governance features. And how many, Gokan?
10 new features.
10 new features that Microsoft announced for managed environments. Yeah. I'm not sure how many of them are new at this conference versus build, but there's at least 10 upcoming features in the coming months for managed environments.
One thing they said before the closing is how AI or Copilot will actually change the way on how we make our apps. Two things. First is with Copilot, actually things that were impossible before are now getting possible because we get more and more intelligent, we can do more stuff. And secondly, almost 40% of the apps are now AI infused or using Copilot, which is actually true. And I have a few apps, and the first thing I did is, hey, let me see if I can do it better with Copilot, or if I can add more stuff with Copilot, which is phenomenal statement, and which I 100% agree. I don't know for you, but
I definitely think it will change the way we do things. And they even shared that people are going to build over 1 billion apps. And we should say like that, 1 billion apps until 2030.
28?
2030.
Okay, there we go. I'm bad with numbers.
We'll see who's right after when we put the overlay. But over 1 billion apps, even if it's by 2030, it's still a huge amount of numbers. So having AI help us create them and being able to infuse AI in them will definitely change the way we work. But I think that's it for the highlights, Gokan.
That's it for the highlights.
Those were the top highlights. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching, and truly hope you enjoyed. Make sure you come to the next either European Power Platform Conference or the Microsoft Power Platform Conference if you're more in North America and want to go to a local conference. Microsoft even talked about the Microsoft Power Platform Conference, which I found quite funny. But if ever you do, make sure you use code VLAD100 to save $100. And if not, for the next European Power Platform Conference, please sign up early. They've been selling out almost every year, so please sign up early to make sure that you have your spot. We don't know yet when it's going to be or where it's going to be.
My guess, I like Hawaii. So I hopefully they go to Hawaii.
Well, I'm more realistic. I would say Prague. I would love to go back to Prague. But we'll see who's right. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching again. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more awesome videos like this.